The first thing that those early pioneers did when they came to this valley was not to build a temple, not to build a church. They built a performing arts center.
Without the integration with the arts, we're missing life. It's like going from black and white to color.
Beverly had this vision of imparting arts in the schools and sending them into the schools across Utah. That was a huge dream, and I think when she first voiced it, everyone said, that can't happen. But she was determined that yes, it really could happen. She knew that she could help make that happen, and she went about doing it.
Beverly was a grandmother. She was a mom. She understood kids in a way that only someone who's been around them her whole life and been dedicated to them her whole life could.
My mother was musical, and she was very artistic. She loved the arts. She played the piano. She danced when she was younger.
She recognized that the arts are an incredible tool for learning. She also recognized that the arts change the climate of schools. They change the way young people interact with one another. For her, that was very much ahead of her time.
Mother was very empathetic, and if she was here, she'd probably invite you into her home. She'd probably make soup for you. That's how she treated people.
Beverly Taylor Sorensen actually knew quite a bit about brain research. She knew that the arts could be a vessel for other content to be carried out and for kids to really make sense of the world around them and understand content through the arts.
There is some really interesting research that's happening right now about the impact of arts education on the cognitive function of the brain. You might be the best STEM researcher, scientist, mathematician, but if you can't communicate and tell the story of your work and your research, your ability to have an impact on the world is limited.
The brain just needs an opportunity to get the right chemicals going. And some students come to school ready to learn, excited to do math, excited to read, and some don't. They just don't want to be here. Art is their one access point to learning curriculum and being a little bit excited about it.
No child is going to be ready to learn until he has or she has a sense of self. That they can listen, that they can focus, that they feel great about themselves in the learning environment.
What season do you think it is? Wait! Are you ready? Yes. Can you find our partners?
I have to admit, when I came to Mountain View, I had a few of those misconceptions myself. I'm like, you dance? I wasn't sure how a child learning to leap had anything to do with science. And Miss Tina, our art specialist, proved me wrong very quickly. Really what she does is say, okay, what science concepts are we learning, or language arts or math, and how can I make a movement make sense with that core academic content?
What we do is we sit down and we say, what's your curriculum? How do you describe the space of a molecule, rotating and churning and going over there?
The Beverly Taylor Sorensen Arts Learning Program is a place of high energy and high joy for children. They interact with an arts teacher in one of 4 art forms, drama, dance, music, or visual art, to deepen their learning in other content area.
I started in Miss Tina's class when I was a little kid. That's why I go to school every day and I'm excited. I can express my emotions and just be myself. It's important to do art because then you can learn like a lot that you could copy at home. We have visual arts, drama, dance, and music. It would be like so much more fun to learn like math through art. Then math would be one of my favorite things to do ever.
My son Lars, he sort of professes to hate math, But when we start to talk about some of the visual applications of math and science, he can really see it himself, and I see something kind of spark in him.
Students that participate in the Beverly Taylor Sorensen program, we have found that they do better on test scores, they do better in language arts. In fact, we showed that students increased their scores by 2.2 points on their language arts CRTs and 3.1 points in math.
But there's a huge gap, because right now my school doesn't have that. We don't have that arts integration teacher. We've been advocating for 2 years now at our school, trying to get an arts integrated teacher, and feeling like that's a benefit for our school, and hoping that we can get one of those, not only for my school, but for every school in the state.
If Beverly were sitting here with us today, she would tell legislators and anyone involved that this program should be in every elementary school. All children deserve this. They should all have this program.
We won't rest till everybody has that same opportunity in all of our 800 elementary schools, and we hope that happens soon.
Creativity is inherent in who we are as human beings, and the ability to express that can slowly be taken away from us, but not in Utah. In Utah, we care enough. We're gonna fund arts education. We're gonna make sure all of our kids have the ability to express themselves in creative and uninhibited ways. That's what I love about living in this state, is knowing that my child will have that opportunity.